Okay, so I haven't been on here for a while. The power went out for about 4 days here, and I just thought, I quit, So I've been living uh, downstairs where it's cooler. So upstairs is my whole rig. And when the power went out, I just didn't come back up here. But I'm back. And what I'm doing here is the 15-minute chart. And the color blocks you see there, those are 8-hour time blocks. So the colors don't have any meaning directionally. I'm just sectoring off 8-hour blocks in time. And we're coming up to, so this is going to be the 15-minute chart inside of an 8-hour block. So you can see the 8-hour snapshots of the narrative on closing prices, which is the white line. And if you zoom in, we'll start to see the candlesticks underneath because I put a bigger bar on top of the candles than comes with MetaTrader. So if I zoom in, I'm trying to identify my entry windows from a reversal trading standpoint. I also have the Williams fractal on top of on the 15, which gives us a nice double bottom, double tops. And the trades on this chart would last anywhere from 15 minutes to maybe the whole 8-hour or maybe 4 hours, right? Unfortunately, I can't switch in this mode of playback. I can't go to the 4-hour chart, but you can only imagine. So coming into Asia, I think I'm using some type of powder blue. I don't know what this color is. What is the story here? And this is just somewhere in time on the euro dollar. And this is just how I trade it because I don't want to babysit a perfect entry on a 15-minute chart built with a 21 period moving average, crosses over the 34 period moving average. With the volume spiking at X, I put on 2% of risk and I get in. Okay, you could trade like that. You could trade like that. And if you've got enough money to get drunk tonight, then you probably could. You would trade like that. You just don't care, right? So are you trading for the money? Are you trading for the entertainment? Are you trading for the participation trophy, I suppose? You just really, it matters, I suppose. I think if you asked anybody, they'd say, well, of course you're trying to trade to make money, but you're not necessarily, right? So, like if you had a hooker, this would be a girl you rent by the hour, is that supposed to be a love affair? Or are you just trying to entertain yourself, right? Are you trying? Are you working on a? Now you're going through the motions of working on a relationship. Your proper amount of technique, and supposedly this person's going to be your. You trust them, right? You hit them right, just right. They trust you. In the market here, the 15-minute is I'm looking at this, and I'm put a two pip fixed spread in there, so you can kind of see what's costing you. And commissions, there's a commission free. I'm imagining commission free here. I'm paying 2 pips, which on a 10 pip stop is 20%, right? So to make this a 10% cost of doing business, we have to run to try to make 20 pips, or our stop is 20 pips. So when we get stopped out, we know it's 10% of that went towards the stop. Now, if with 50 pips stop, you're kind of in the high dollar risk category. I'm assuming a micro account, so this is 0.001. I'm sorry, 0.01 lot of a standard lot of 100,000. So in that world, look at this. So you see the Williams fractal just showed up there. Now, what's going on here is the fractal will not form unless this bar completes. I think it could disappear. That we need to have a turnaround of, so we need and I dare say a higher high and then a higher low, and then it just gives us that nice little clean. And this is written in stone, this fractal. For the aggressive trader, that's trading on limits, which I'm only entering in limits now. I traded the market if I don't have the size I want. So it's all about size too. I'm not going to, like, this was obviously the ideal place to buy, right? If you have buy limits, now you may not get filled because, see, the spread is, this is a 1.5 pip window. So unless you're got a buy limit sitting here with a 0 spread, that's why you would trade with 0 spreads and commissions built in, so you would get the fill here. So if you had 2%, if you had a 2 pip commissions, which is kind of high, but your spread was 0, you could logically place your buy limits here. So you kind of have to be aggressive. I'm going to start buying here personally, myself. I'm going to buy this. I'm calling that a vacuum. I'm just calling this a void. There's no price here. When the price stabs down, and this is let's not even talk about how beautiful that sell is there. Let's just talk about this buy. So I'm constantly buying and selling all day long. And yes, if I buy in here with 1 standard lot, 2 standard lot, 3 standard lot, and I got stops like so tight, I'll never experience this cash, this win. And I won't even experience, which would be, just watched ICT again, I can't resist. He's talking about how he's going to take partial profits. Well, no shit, motherfucker. You're going to scale out. And you think this is some magic potion he has. It's hysterical. He's sitting there talking about, well, it's 8:15. Now here's the news that's coming out. Dude, I trade that news all day. Even after the news comes out, I'm trading it, right? So you can see I'd be short here into this. I'm looking for it to come back there to cash out, but let that go. Let me move on. Let me go back to where I was at. So I get sidetracked really easy. This window, to me, I see this so easily. I'm like, I want to buy that window, this void, whatever you call it. Just like I wanted to buy this one. So here's the old classic Asian. We established the Asian Open. You could say market maker, whatever. You got a range here. As soon as they pop above that fractal, you could have sold that. And you could have bought anything below here. You could have sold anything above there. And that's what I'm doing. What I'm really trading at the market is, if I bought 3 standard lots here, when it comes to here, I'll probably take off 2 standard lots and maybe let the rest go. But this is very quick, dirty money. This is only a 45-minute window. Same thing here. When the market stabs down in, how long are you going to be in this trade? If I'm loading the wagon here, which I could load the wagon here, even despite the wide spread, these would have filled. If I'm loading up here, load this thing. So what I'm doing is I'm selling above this right now. I guarantee you that's my sell. If I didn't cash out here now, you kind of have to be quick here, and you got to have those. I'm only looking to make 5 pips, because once they come above that, you better get it, because I don't know the void that we're looking on the left here. I can't see it. Look at this robot trading. It's got a trailing stop. I love that. This is the ATR bot that actually makes money. Look at this thing. So see the trailing, see the money management here. And then so ICT, this is on the video I'm referring to is where he says he's going up against Astro Forex. He's short, he's long, and he's telling this guy he's wrong and shit. I'm like, dude, how do you know how big he's in that trade? And besides, look at this. And then he talked about the trailing step. Now look at this beautiful trailing step. This thing does not care. This is a non-directional, by the way, non-directional breakout bot. It got involved in the trade here. It went long. And I don't know what's determining the money. But see, it just got stopped out at a profit. As soon as that market pulled back, it's out. But I'm short into that on limits. So just because that robot, just because you're long, doesn't mean I'm not short above the London session, we'll just call this. So you can see on that 15-minute chart, that's a pretty active trading chart. I mean, you could buy this, dump. You could sell here, dump. Buy, sell, just off the fractals. If you have sell limits, now we do know that the sell side is filled. That's the difference between buying and selling. If we put a sell limit here, we guarantee we're filled on that. Guaranteed fill, you got to cash out. Absolutely guaranteed fill up here. And I'm selling every new 15. So what I'm doing is I front run the market. and I time it out. So we're coming into the close. Here's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm getting ready to buy this thing coming into Asia on some kind of limits. So what I do is I pepper limits in like this that maybe last for 4 hours, 8 hours. Now, I'm definitely going to buy down here. I don't think we're coming down here. Now, you got to be realistic about this. Thing's left the station. Now it's cutting up into my sell limits, by the way. I'm selling into the close of this, and hopefully I'm going to scalp out to here, and the hope is involved in this strategy. So you got to have more dry powder to sell even more, because when Asia comes, they might take it up higher. And here's where you're going against everybody on this trade. I noticed the thing just went long. Look at this breakup. Look at the money management on that puppy. It's already in profits, locked in. Tell you what, on paper, this damn robot makes money. It pisses me off too, because, you know, if I threw money in an account and just let that thing go, and it's doing a few currency pairs, it really does kick ass. It's in my list of links there. It's free. I found it for free. Because look at this thing. It's kicking ass, dude. It's already made $19. I'm so sorry. On a 10K. But see how they're crushing this up? And this is where people that are counter trend trading this go wrong. They don't think to lay out your orders wider now. As soon as the volatility picks up here, which obviously it's on fire, so you're going to start selling wider and wider. That's the cure. That's the cure. Look at the take profit on that puppy. I don't know if that's riding along with it. I don't think so, but could be wrong there. Oh, there you go. It's already out. It's already got stopped out. Money management took that puppy out. You see that? So the big secret here is that money management is king, and the size is king. And whether you're trading, a moving average algorithm, harebrained, you've got a new indicator because there's 500 indicators, and you got this indicator that you're using. It really comes down to this stupid shit about money management and position sizing. Once again, I'm describing the world of a person that's trying to make money trading. Of course, that's not always like I said, renting a girlfriend doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make babies or you're in love. So playing back the market to me is a real training ground for what am I going to do? I'm short this thing, and I would be short this thing. And I think I'm using a grid size of, damn it, this is 100 pips. So this is 25 pips, and for some reason, let me start over. Oh, I guess we're not going to get it. But it's 100 pips on those big black lines there. So we're right at the 100, and we're coming into Asia, and I would be, if I'm swing trading it with a 25 pip stop. Now this means that I'm kind of got stopped under my tight stops. This thing just went long for some reason. But the beauty of this thing is that trailing stop. And look, it is right, because typically there's some follow through. And now I'm really, if I've been stopped out, and that's okay. You can stop me out all you want. You can tell me all day fucking long I got to wear a mask, but you're going to go, somebody's going to the hospital, and it's not for a mask, okay? It's because I just beat the shit out of you. Yeah, come, bring it. So, full retard. They've gone. It's amazing, but it's no different really than this market. So if you're saying this is overbought, why isn't it tanking? Gosh, really another mandate? Yeah, they're going long again. So they're going to go long into Asia, probably a little bit more. And I don't know. I can't see to the left all the way, because if you're coming up on 5-year highs on the left, it'll be one of those situations where when the markets reopen here at 5 o'clock, when we get to the dotted line, they're just going to rip like fresh territory all the way north. I deleted my, we have to reinstall the template here. Okay. That's secure for that. So we're going long here. And we're waiting for it to come to an end. And I guess I'd be short off that one fractal. Okay, now I'm going to start placing my sell limits. And I'm going to go to sleep. And these are going to last 8 hours. And I'm going to use this rectangle as my cue. Here's a 25 pip window, and that's about 8 hours, right? Oh, we can make this a different color so that we don't confuse it with the other stuff going on. And I'm going to just place it here and go, you know what? I'm selling above here all night long. This is my trade plan. I swear to God, I'm not going to get any more complicated than that. That's still a bad color. So that's my sell window. I'm sticking to it. So these are trades written in stone for 8 hours, basically. Right, 8 hours in that window, I will sell. Also, on the buy side, not to be fair, you know, I want to buy too, and supposedly what they tell you about the market is that tops become bottoms, so we can expect buyers to come in at this fractal. When we broke out this window here, and we went in an 8-hour smashing north, which if you rode that, and don't forget, there's a guy with a buy stop here, with a sell stop here, we got filled on an 8-hour breakout. He's saying, I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. I make money all the time on this breakout shit. And to just reference the video that was done by Ryan Brown about this breakout, it's so cute that he thought he wrote, this is just about less than a year ago, he thought he wrote a amazing robot that trades the Asian breakout. Well, this is an 8-hour Asian session, and it's going to go long here, and it's going to stop here. And look, it made money, right? And look at buy stop here. It's breaking out, making money, right? That's great until it goes both ways, which if you're on the euro versus the pound, you would see a total destruction of that kind of robot. And not to mention, I don't know if Ryan was saying, well, we're going to go only going to go long here. We're never going to go short here because slight trap there going short. But then, of course, this volatility says, wow, we got to start putting sell limits. Now I'm getting filled on my sell limits. I had a chance to get out here. This is the only pullback we got into Asia now. Now I'm selling like you can't believe. Boom, 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 boom. Now this is all predefined. And by the way, there's about a 300K up here, but we're going to sell the first 50K in here, and I'm just going to work it. So every time it comes up and fills me, cash out. And now I really, if I'm going to stay up all night and trade it, it becomes a circus of limits and front running and cashing out, and depending on like how much you want to work, how hard you want to work for every ticket. And if it gets 40 pips, now this is going to be $500 in a standard lot. You know, we get a nice giant move, and you've stacked up all those tickets, and you can get in and out, and now you don't even feel the pressure because you're not, well, I don't, because I'm not in a 50K raw ticket. Now, it's not to say you couldn't put a 50K buy stop here. So it's a matter of your personal preference of how much torture you want to endure. Because it really is torture. Let's face it. Now, I'm short here on limits. Because so it dipped into my sell bank. Now, would I wish I'd sold more up there? Sure. But what if I wait? What if I cash out here? And that I would, if I was babysitting this 15-minute chart, I'd be like, oh, it's going higher. In fact, I'm only short like 13K here. You know, let it go higher. I got about 75K sleeper sell up there. That's how I'm doing it. And I'd take the same approach to everything. And now it's time to put the buy limits in. Now, if these last all day, it's going to look like this. Now, this is way more risk because I'm going to have, I don't even care. I can come back to this in the middle of the night. I can't even get that to activate. So the whole sell bank is over here now. Now I'm going to speed up the robot because I'm not going to describe every zigzag in here, but it's obvious. I think you can see we're going up, uppity, up, up, and I'm selling into it only because I'm not going to buy here like a goober and chase this in. So I want to enter on limits. That's part of the thing. So that's psychological because if I buy now, I'm like, oh, what's it going to keep going up? Really? So 80% of the market is just trapping people. And how much did I buy here, by the way? Sure, if I'm loading the wagon, it's Asian session. This is quiet. This is also making new highs of yesterday. So anything above here is, to me, is prime real estate for the quick money. Because when it spikes up there, oh, so I just picked up some more sells here. Now, if I did not get out of these, I'm building a short position, by the way, over the next 8 hours. So we're just building this short position. And whatever this makes, it makes. Now, by the same token, I'm going to buy if it plunges here. Let me reload that. Let me just take off that time block shit here. Because I don't really use that. I'm just doing that for visual aid. The buyers are supposed to come back here. I don't care. I got sells up here. I'm short because this is the close of yesterday. And I'm short all day long into that. And I love this trade only because it's a set it and forget it situation. And if I'm not taking something off the table, that is a 2 pip spread, by the way. So this is not a lot of pips. Let me speed up the robot. I'm going to go max. Well, here, not max speed. It's kind of hard to call it out. So ICT thought he was pretty slick calling out these trades, but I do that for 5 hours here straight on a 15-minute chart at this speed. 1 notch below the fastest speed. I'm short into that. I can just tell you flat out. The whole day. How about I just sell new highs? Here's a scheme that's got to be the crudest thing in the world. I know that was the high of yesterday. I'm going to sell into that. Fuck you people. Fuck you bulls. Fuck you trend traders. So I'm an angry trader. I'm not in denial. That's what my schemes, my trade plans built around my personality of being completely pissed off all fucking day long. And now you got this motherfucker with the, if you have a forex account bigger than $100, you need to wear a mask when you take out under 600 out of the account. So look at this fucking robot went wrong. It's pissing me off again. Look, it's locked in a profit. So, but I'm short into this. I'm okay with that. I've been in lockdown my whole life. You can try to lock that shit down. I laugh at your lockdown. You're cracking me up. Dude, I did that shit fucking when I was 7 years old. I was in lockdown. They sent me to my room multiple times. I'm like, well, this is going to be it, man. I don't think people change. This thing's going to get hammered here. It went long. See, now it's getting its ass kicked. Look, it's going to enter on a buy stop like a goober. Oh, it's going to get chopped. But I'm making money. Look at me. I'm a contrarian trader. That's it. Now, are there buyers supposed to come in down here? Yeah. Let's look at our template. Now, the template's okay, but I don't really do it. I'm actually looking at all those fractals. I'm willing to just sell into every fractal. But look at this. You could put a sell limit at the high of Asia. You could have waited. Look at this beautiful. Now, here's where they trap Ryan Brown's and they blow up his robot right here. Well, he thought he could just be, oh, I know what I'll do. I got it. Wait, this is it. Buy stop, sell stop, and we'll just go with the trend. Uh-oh. Bingo, bango. Now, this is the auction theory that this is the window, or this is the trapping both breakout trader, whatever we call it. The buy limits are down here. Now I got buy limits. Now, this is my favorite trade because I can just go, you know what? Let's just throw in about 2 standard lots down here, 1 standard lot here, and let him bring that puppy. Meanwhile, I'm short off the top. All you did was sell new highs? No, it can't be that easy. And look at that reaction, right? Why it's such a harsh reaction? Coming back to my buy, my pivot. Okay, that still does exist. But look at this. It just gobbled up that vacuum. And I'm buying into that, and I'm going to buy for the next 8 hours. I put in a grid like this. This is what it looks like. So just to show you in real time what this really looks like for me is, okay, let's put some 1 hour buy limits in. That means they only last for this much time. Let me go to full playback mode, and I'm just going to have to be really quick about this because it goes hyper here. Filled on buy limits. I'm long. I could still be short from up here, though. I'm long. Here comes the end of the 8-hour session. I'm going to cash out of everything I own here. I've already told myself if we make it back to here on all the longs that I bought up during here, I will definitely cash out. But I will, if it comes here, I'm going to load the wagon. Guaranteed. No, regardless of what's happened. Boom. Under here, I just loaded the wagon. So I just made money. That is my trading system. So see, here comes Asia. We know that there's buy stops here. This is they stopped that guy out, but I bought on limits here. So the retail losing traders that trade breakout, when ICT says there's stops down here, he means that there's sell stop for goobers that say it's in a downtrend, let's go short. Meanwhile, there's also buy limits down here for people that enter on limits to make that trade, and they're going to enter on limits here. Bookends, right? You bought down here, you sell up here. You're out. Now you may come down again. That's why along the way, see, I just bought that. I'm buying the sell off for the next 8 hours. Now I'm long, and I cash out to the floor here. It's a very simple recipe. So I'm just going to run through this because this is how I'm doing it. And what is the people always asking the same questions? Well, what do you do for the? Well, what you do there is you have to see the bigger picture in a way and go. And these kind of questions, if they ever take this out, holy shit, I want some of that. So if you bought this thing, you'd have to, if you're not waiting for it to come back to here to cash out, and it cut through that and see how it took out the Asian high. Now this would be what they would call, wow, you're just getting trapped on every 8-hour breakout. No shit, Sherlock. So that's why you want to go short here for that trade. And now Asia, you're going to go long here and short here if you're entering on limits. Now, granted, if you sold here on stop, you're going to tell me right now, look, I'm up in the trade. I got you, but I just took it away from you, right? Because if my exit's at floor, if I bought into that plunge, that's a 15-minute chart. This is easy, right? 15-minute chart on top of the 8-hour, which gives you, what is that, about 20 bars inside there? Let's see, 4 times 8, whatever that is. So buy limits, right? Boom, boom. Now my favorite trade here, because not only is it high probability that we can scalp into this giant abyss we're dropping into, but I can retap it. If I scalp to here, the floor right now, scalp to here, I'm going to come back in with buy limits below. Or I've hopefully taken whatever 5, 7, 9, 14 pips I can here. Okay. Definitely bought that. Here's the close. Now we could get some follow through. We could go lower in Asia. Don't forget, you want to put buy limits in here. So when you see the low of the previous day, when Asia comes, this is premium buying zone. Because they probably will take it lower. Yes, the trend of that day, there's so much momentum to the downside, but this is ripe for the pickings, for the easy scalp. And buying lower again, I would actually buy all the way down into this. So my scheme is set up to really have enough money and tickets to really load into that, because see how much it pays. If you load into that, look at the reward. Here's the European Open now. We're going to go lower. I'm going to buy into it again. I mean, it's really tough. It's very difficult to go against this downtrend, but it'll pay off. Now we have to take out the Asian high. We'll definitely cash out there. So I'm actually getting out the market. I'm a seller, but I'm getting out because I'm in profits. I bought everything below Asia. I'm holding. When we get above here, I'm going to take something off the table. If I haven't taken anything off by now, but I should be taking off at least the wick, the wick of that, which would be a wick on the 4 hour there. Now I'm going to cash out into this. Boom, I'm finally out. So coming into Asia, I'm out of that. Now, for the big swing traders, they're probably holding everything that has happened in this island down here, this accumulation under this floor. So there's the floor within the floor. And they're going to hold that. And they're probably looking to get out here, here, and here. And there'll be sellers here. So look at, see how it pulled back off that? People cashed out on that. Now, on the 1 hour basis, if I'm babysitting this, I'm not going to enter at the market. I'm going to come in with limits like this and go give me some of that. Now the swing traders have been holding this thing for this big sell-off. And here comes that big retracement. And I'm sure the trend traders are getting in. Top becomes the bottom here. Moving averages turning up. They're taking that trade. I see that trade. I'm not retarded. Not yet. I see your trade. You're going to get in here and you're going to ride this puppy. But don't forget, I bought this out of sheer because it's new lows. And I'm long under here and I'm up on these trades right now because these are new lows. And the accumulation underneath this, it's kind of an abandoned baby island bottom. What do you want to call it? I call it a low. But once we breach that, right, that's supposed to be the bottom that becomes a top. When we come to here, sellers are supposed to come in. We clear this out. We don't quite touch that. Now I'm thinking buy limits down here. So I'm always thinking if they take it down, I want to buy it. If they take it up, I want to sell it. Now be very careful selling off this because if we have to complete this circuit, this run up here could crush and take out the highs from way back now. So always be looking, and this is constantly changing. Got to be looking in the rearview mirror here. This is a big deal, this price now. But if you had the balls and you had your sell limits here and you're like, you know what? Let's just start selling into that. Now I'm buying into these floors. These are the vacuum windows I'm buying. So it's very perverse game, right? You said, look at my moving average turned over here. I got in here. I love this trade. You maybe ran a trailing stop. You got stopped out with a profit here, but see how vicious. You're already back to the starting gate. Are you going to buy again? Well, I don't know. My moving averages have changed. Really? Okay. So that's the moving average. Algorithmic goober follows your laggy moving averages follow this high drama situation, which is worth so much more money. So I'm already long there. See, I cashed out. I can already see my trade. I bought everything below here. I loaded the wagon in that window. That is the premium window. I got limits here that never filled. How do you size that? That is the question. How do you do that? Well, you certainly want to buy more here than you bought here. So you want to get in lightly. And so there's a feeling of security in my mind of when I see this void, I go, yeah, there's enough money in the account. Let's come in. Let's do it. And once again, you could have re-entered there, but why didn't you? Oh, my moving average turned over, but if the price is good here, why isn't it good here? Look, it was good. Look, I can debunk and I can prop up any system. If we cherry pick the data, of course, like these fucking ass clowns that think they can run, central plan the government. Take this, do that, do this. Wait, you didn't. Oh, you see? We're going to blame everybody because, huh? Dude, fuck off. Yeah, this is fucking, I mean, dude, ICT's got more shit together than Biden at this point. So look at that thing do that trailing stop shit. I love it. So why is ATR bot making money? Is it? I set this up. Wait, please hold. Wait, oh shit. Robot's going so fast. Computer can't catch up with my demands. My orders. Let me slow that robot down just a little bit. But yeah, you gotta be kidding, right? Oh, it's getting its ass kicked. Forget what I said. But the money management thing, and actually it runs great on the daily. A 15-minute, it does lose money. But on the daily, it makes money. You got to see it on the daily. Look at all this drama now. Why didn't you buy it out here? You told me this is a great price. What now? It's not so great. What changed? Could have bought it here. You missed this entry, but you wouldn't buy it here. And this is a better entry from a enter on the void concept. Since this is 1 day, and of course, Asian breakout guys get it right again. They put a buy stop here like goobers. They put a sell stop here for protection. It goes up. They're in profits. If they don't realize this is their exit, they're fucking more. They don't get it. Because there's so many sellers up on this lonely fractal, which doesn't really, all this stuff's been bid. This has all been offered and bid and crushed. The market does not see this anymore, in my opinion. When you look, the problem with the market profile, it still takes into account this. This doesn't mean anything now. I may have the indicator on here that just blocks it off. It just shows you this is all the market sees, right? That's all it sees now. This is gone. That's been accounted for. Even this is gone. And this is a giant volatility movement, this blue session where you come Asia. Well, U.S. and Asia are the biggest sessions, right? Zoom in on one level and take a look at the story. So here's the kind of like the view I would trade if I was on the 15 maybe. I wish I could go to the half-hour chart. In fact, why don't I just restart the robot with a half-hour chart? But because this is so intense. So if you're going to go against the fractal, your entry window is going to be stuff like, so here's Asia. The first, now we're running 8-hour trade blocks there, but if we just did a 1-hour chart, we'd say first breakout. Trip this fractal, okay, kind of a trap. If you put buy stops here and trade this breakout instead of the Asian breakout, so you're long, and maybe you got stop here. And look, you're up on this trade, by the way. And if you add more to the position here, you added more. So this is the argument against the argument for the goober. Why what ICT says is complete nonsense, because it's based upon the size you're trading, because we're talking about making money. Now, if you put a 1K buy stop in here, you're losing $20 a month. Well, what the fuck's the point of that? I guess the Holy Grail sniper view is that you sit there, you wait for this to go up. This is the smart money idea, right? It goes up, and you're either selling into these fractals, building a sell, or you put sell limits in here. You went against the goober, right? They both make money. If I sell a 1, a 2, a 3, and I martingale into that, and I've got even sell limits above this, don't forget, which I already filled here and cashed that up, but let that go. So we sell into this. We got enough money to sell even more. When it pulls back to the supposed breakout point where all the goobers are supposed to get in, right, tops become bottoms. Yeah, well, I don't have to buy here, but I see the goobers are getting in. I'm not going against the goobers. They're all masked up like retards. You want to keep your balls connected to your body, you're going to wear a mask. But I guess I'm going to wear a mesh one that's fucking breathable. Don't they have the hologram mask that looks like you're wearing a mask? Isn't that fake passports? I asked that question early on in my head. I said, when is somebody going to start talking about the fake passport? And of course, if they go chip, how much for a fake chip? Anybody out there? Fake chips, please. I'm going to whisper like, yeah, I'm going to be Biden. Get your fake chips. What the fuck? This motherfucking psychopath. I see the robot got chopped here on the 15. Okay. Fucking unfucking believable. But look at Australia, dude. Now you thought these people had their shit together. Vegemite burger. Something lets you know that wasn't gonna not even end well, wasn't gonna run well. There's something wrong in the sauce. We got a problem, Houston. Fucking A. But this is instructive to me. My videos are just about the reality of, okay, how to situate yourself with limits to take advantage of trades. You don't have to babysit this stuff. Why, but this is, I guess the entertainment factor comes in. I do like to babysit it, but I'm looking at my limits. I'm going, wow, I wonder if they can push that into my limits. So my if-then statement exists in if they fill it, then I know I want to buy if it goes down. I can't make money unless I buy low. If I chase on stops, if I look for confirmation on every entry, like until it's completely certain that there's no light, like you go outside, that's saying it's not going to rain these days. I'm like, you can't even fucking predict the weather and you're going to tell me. Well, the current variant that's out there, wait, so what's the lag time on your testing bullshit? I mean, this is so fucking retarded. Anybody that's traded the market successfully, anybody who's lived their life successfully knows that this is complete, utter comedy bullshit. Like, there's no fucking way. I'm so sorry. I wish it was that easy. Well, if you do this, that, it's cured, you're good to go. Dude, everybody's unique. Besides, no one trader is going to trade, like the ICT thing is so cute. If you got to read this guy's fucking blog. Inside a community in his videos. I got to read that shit. Maybe at the end of this video. It's just absolutely hysterical. He's like, don't even try to be me. He's telling people, like, you think him and Corn Pop, like, it's really amazing. And why does he double down on saying, don't listen to him, listen to me, and this guy's going to he's the trickster, and like, am I saying that? Is Biden saying that? Is the president of the United States saying completely harebrained shit that a 5-year-old would say? Of course. Looking at a feeble person lash out. So he's got a job. He's getting paid. ICT is Biden. Because ICT is relying on his mentorship program. Who does that? That's why Trump rules, because Trump had a gig. This is Biden's gig. ICT's gig. There's this lady, this black lady that goes fucking off on ICT. Man, she rips him a new asshole. And it's funny. I don't know. He's had some. He likes to run this really tight authoritarian razor wire ship. It's so cute because I guess that's how you want to roll in your life. Is like, my shit's so good, sign up for my mentorship. Well, why do you have to sell it? Why are you handing out lottery tickets for a vaccine that's not even a vaccine? Why is ICT handing out tickets to the mentorship? Okay, because, and he's rechurning that on his video channel. He throws out, oh, this is my mentorship market maker. Yeah, so he rolls out old videos. This is just the most harebrained, conspiratorial based narrative on the market. By the way, Going back to the market that we're experiencing here as it unfolds in front of us in a typical day of shenanigans of new highs, new lows. So when I do cash out of these trades, by the way, it's inventory. I want to be flat, waiting to get filled. They come into my limits. I cash out. I want to breathe with the market. I don't want to be a directional trader. Yes, I can see the pressure building up for the retracement. Yes, I can see that. But after being, I guess, betrayed by, okay, I got a moving crossover system. I back tested it. I'm going to get in at this precise moment. The people that make the argument of, well, I've got, I guess I'm making that argument, but in a money auction, price action kind of way. If you're going to do the moving average, you're taking you're taking all the prices that have happened over a specific period of time to determine, well, where's this market really going? Where's this relationship going? I understand people want to do that, but don't forget, you're renting a girl by the hour. In this scenario, so why it's difficult to make money range trading, because you're really a slut, okay? I mean, you really are saying, I don't care. Well, how can you not care and make money? And how can you not know where the market's going and make money? Here, coming into Asia again. So I see this and I'm like, I'm ready to sell. I know it's probably going to go up. There'll be some follow through into Asia, but I don't care because it's not my entry technique. I'm going to let the market come to me and fill it. I will also have buy limits pending below here in this slot, but yeah, probably going to, actually what I'm going to do is put sell limits really close up here and really close down here that last a short period of time. Okay, they're going to come into my sell limits. I can see it. Okay, I'm short. Now, I'm getting short and short and short. And if I zoom out, I'm going to see, well, where are we at in the landscape of the big picture? So the nice thing about trading in a way is it's kind of like having a different hooker every time. Okay, this is the beauty. It's a different rent-a-bride. And you've seen that rent-a-husband. I think it fixes your house or something. Handyman at your duty. But let me delete the object. So I'm going to reload the template. That's another way to do it. So I'm going to refresh this because we got a bunch of baggage out there. Maximum zoom out here, by the way. You really want that broad global view of it. See how crazy it is. And I guess you can make the top bottom argument here. It kind of pops out when you zoom out. When you zoom in and out, you create different visual cues. You can see, oh, they came back. They did test that. And this is you can make the argument that, sure, well, market profile actually runs every day. So there's a bulge here, right? And this is a big popular price. And I know you can make these arguments, but in the end, it's going to be, I know I want to sell above this. I want to sell all the way up here the whole next day. Now, I would lay that grid out on another account, probably, if it was a swing account. And the one that I'm going to babysit on my Android, I got a new Android phone. Now I do love Androids, of course, only because the new one has a menu that I can navigate from the bottom. It's a taller screen. Yeah, in the beginning version of that, I wasn't going to buy the Pixel phone. Why the fuck? Explain this to me. Why? How do you get to $1,000 on a phone? I just bought a $50 Samsung, and it rules. Now, what is going on? Is it vibrate so good that I can insert it and ride it? What if I got bored? I mean, what actually is going on with the $1,000 iPhone? I got a guy with a $1,000 iPhone, but he brings shit up. Guess what? Same problem I have with my phone. You look at it wrong, it's opening up apps. You touch it wrong, it's installing. You can't have too clean of hands. You got to swipe. You can't swipe the screen with. You know what? My hand's too clean. It's squeaky clean. I can't fuck. You know what? Okay. I'm sure everybody knows the anxiety of the Android anxiety. It's just a real thing. But if I'm looking at it on my phone and I see, oh, here comes the Asian session's ending right now. All right, are they going to fill my tickets? And here's how I just lay out my scheme, and every day it's different. So it's kind of nice in that way. Whereas most life is if you go to the store, they open at 5, they close at 9, whatever the thing is, you got to count. People love routine. So why is trading so hard? Because it's not any of those things. By the way, I'm short here. Don't forget, I sold the high the previous day. That's a classic. I always do that. I don't care what's going on. I'm doing that trade because I know I can make some money. Now, how much? I don't know. Yeah, I'll let it play out. If I see, I'll have more sell limits up here actually. And here I'm going to have buy limits on. Now I'm going to trade deeper. These are going to last longer. These last say 8 hours. These last 12 hours. These last all day. All week long, I would buy here. But I'm not going to put the orders in now and have them show up on the terminal because, yeah, I know, but if it comes down there, I'll start front running in. And this is where the taking advantage of the market in real time comes in. If I'm short here, I'm cashing out. I'm also buying into this at the same time. At least my mind's saying, let's buy into that. And let's buy a ton here. If we can make it down here today and retest or annihilate the stops that are stacking up from all the goobers that run trailing stops in the 8 hour, we'll gobble those up. And if we ever come down here, which is taking out the midday lows from the previous day, oh my God. And if news is coming out today, if this has to be FOMC, I can guarantee you I've got a cluster of 50K to 100K down here. Comes down, easy money. We got really wide stops on some of these. I'll go to a 30 pip stop. When the news comes out, I'm going to run 30, 40 pip stops to make 20 pips. Now, that may sound bad. But you have to because this is 25 pips right here from here to here. How do I know? Because I got a 25 pip grid right there. I know I can afford to buy, and I'll buy a ton here. And I'll cash that out here and not get stopped out. See, because I've got a stop that's down here. So bad ratios mixed with good ratios. Now this goes against anything that people tell you about ratios, but since I'm trading, say 300 tickets, all 1Ks, I can donate 50K to bad ratios and pay for the high probability exit. And here I'm cashing out too, don't forget. So I bought this Asian thing and I'm cashing out into the middle. I've got sell limits above here now. What I love about this trade is I'm really going to load the sell limits up here now. Oh my God, I just cashed out as we approach this line of scrimmage here. Now I'm selling like you can't believe up into that. And people are cashing out. Watch them cash out. And they're going to cash out into these Williams fractals. If they do, they don't always do that. They're out. See, that was a scalp. That was a fit. That was probably a 5-minute scalp. I'm short again up there. See, I'm short again up there. And this trade's all over, and I can relax. I'm flat. I come back, more sell limits above. Let's do the sell side today. It looks like we're coming up into this. Now this goes way back. Don't forget the swing traders that are enduring all this price action. Don't forget what they're thinking is they want to make. See, there's also sellers above that fractal, and I did say that earlier. I want to be a seller above that, and this whole giant thing, right? Now, that's gone full circle. Accumulation at the island, up, bang, retrace. Now, if your moving average was adjusted just right, you got in here so you can get out there. And, that's what people are trying to do is curve fit the kind of drama that happens every day. Okay, so that's going to be that. And let me go to the... I don't know if that makes sense, but that's going to have to make sense. Because I said it, goddammit. And I got to go to ICT because this should be cracking me up. Let's let this guy just churn away. Oh, well, let me do this. Let me restart the strategy tester with a more better time frame. Build back worser time frame. Hopefully, I slipped in my commentary without any robots detecting the context. It's so cute. I think I said black scene. Black scene. I said it too precisely. And even the word jab, I think, is probably, which is so fucking cringy. Let me go for the half-hour robot. How about the 1 hour robot? Start. Now we throw the template on here. Now we're going to see a lifestyle. That 50-minute chart's a little rugged. That's ICT bullshit. Now in the 1 hour chart, we can see the candles even. Well, the candles aren't showing up too good, are they? Yeah, this is not the best. There's no candles on this, really. Anyways, there is on the one downstairs. All right, so we thought about this. Here is the 8 hour block. There's 8 bars in a block, and here it's a little easier to see the trade. We can also play back faster, I think, which is a bonus. And we can do max playback now. Every tick, though, which slows the robot down a little bit. Every tick. Okay, but it makes it easy. Let me take this chart shift over here. So we're thinking ahead, right? We don't really care much about the past here. All we care is about the previous day. Now, to me, this is a little bit easier. If you're, dare I say, a civilized person, you can see if your sell limits live in this hole, which mine would in this giant column, I'm buying into this, right? I meant buy limits here. Here's the Asian trap. So I bought that and I dumped to the floor. I'm out. Now we sell above here. And maybe you're still long down here. So here's where the maybes come in. Maybe you bought that and you're like, no, dude, I'm waiting till they take out the high of the previous day. And yet maybe your plan. That is a longer term plan, which takes a little more risk. And they still might dip it lower. And so what I did this week was I actually reloaded. So say I bought this this sell-off here and I cashed out, I'll still be holding a portion of that, but I'm going to buy more if they take it down again. So I'm like, oh yeah, yes, just bought more. Oh yeah. Because yeah, maybe they are going to take this out. So this is all built around orders pending. And if they last for 2 hours, you can see that if I keep hitting the button and running these tickets, whether it's a double click or a hand place them, preferably hand place them, so they're dedicated to really load up here and really I'm going to put the orders right here. I can't do it now because the market's not open, but I'm dropping my limit bank here. So I create this giant hotspot iceberg order bank in here, itching to get filled. Meanwhile, they're filling this one just fine, right? You scalp to the floor, we're out. Boom. 1 hour, 2 hour out. Now, the big picture. So you could run your moving average systems here, even though that's, really it's your entry. I'm buying because it's a new low. You're buying because you think it's an uptrend and you're buying the new low. But now I'm buying that crush. So like I just said, big, giant, juicy orders in here. Juicy small A orders, no doubt, like all day. Big ones in here, right? Big ass orders. Now we saw this play out on the 15. This is that island on the 15. Don't forget the same data set. But what it looks like and what it feels like when you're buying into that, okay, what's the feeling? You're like, I hope this retraces. I'm going to buy more in Asia. See, now that's what really blows people's minds. They go, wait a minute, that's going lower. Shit, I'm going to get crushed. Yes, but you're going to have to buy that. Right, because your target's here. I mean, the big target. Can you hit it? I'm good with getting out here. So I'm getting out where I'm going to sell too. Now, the beauty of my system is it picks up wherever you want. Like if I came to this chart right now and showed up, I'm like, oh, it's obvious. I'm just going to buy limits down here. Look, I just got filled on something. So I like to get into whatever's going on. It's like showing up at the casino. Okay, what do we got here? You're going to have to get these tables. That one guy who's a poker player understands. You know, gotta get this table going. You're working 5 tables. Yeah, some are going to hit. This is also the samurai trading, flipping account. You take an account, you flip it. You know what? You retire that account. You take a chunk of that, you try to do it again. It's no different. You risking the whole account is no different than you putting in a stop in. By the way, I just went long there. Into that, and I'm going to scalp out when it gets to here. Boom, I'm out. So it's easier actually to call it. This is perfect, the 1 hour chart with the 8 hour blocks. There's also other trades in here. The Ryan bot is winning because he put a sell stop here and a buy stop here. And don't forget, he made all that money and he's short. And he's like, dude, it's in a downtrend. Don't you understand? Yes, I do. But I also understand that if I miss that trade, I'm not going to go hunting and scanning for another trade because I'm already going to be long here. You might have sold here, but hopefully you're cashing out here because look at that. Beautiful scalp to that. And I'm buying more. And when Asia comes, I got buy limits down here. If I haven't filled this, so that's where that comes from. Now so we're coming into the end. We could still go a little bit lower in Asia. This is really blows people's minds is that you're thinking this is going to retrace now. It may have to go a little bit lower. And would you buy down there? And if you're cashing out to here, okay, you're almost out. Now, if I got a fresh flat account and I've cashed out and I'm done, I am going to put monster tickets here. Plus, I just bought the Asian trap. See, we may not get that, but we get the fake breakout of Asia now. That's the entry. That's the ticket. So we go with the train with the hand we're dealt. We're going to buy that vacuum and cash out there. So that's the engulfment of Asia, wick to wick trade. Now you cashed out here, right? Finally. Oh my God. Because you endured. Don't forget, you held through the close. We came into Asia, you retraced, and oh man, you cashed out. And you're like, man, I bet there's sellers up here. No shit. So I'm selling up here. This is a lot clearer view than a 15-minute chart. So I still don't understand why the 15-minute chart with ICT, but I don't know. I guess he's babysitting the thing. And whether the guy makes money or not, we know he's making money like Biden makes money from his presidency because he probably, well, who's he gonna call now? He's gonna say. So he doesn't have to do that shit anymore where he goes over to Russia and says, or China and says stuff like, if you don't see this guy fired, I'm getting on the plane and if you don't believe me, I'm going to call the president. So he's if you don't believe me, I'm going to call me. Look at that beautiful retracement. So here's where it really pays off, right? The big swing traders are like, oh yeah, dude, look at that, right? Look at that. Look at that beautiful, clean, monster print. Now, would you get annihilated if you sold into that? Oh yeah, if you're selling here, but look at, if you're selling here, 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 you're looking to make to here. This is going to be your target. If you're selling here, you're going to make it back to here, but then you're hoping, wow, they're going to come all the way back to here. They're going to be hell to pay. So selling above here is a white knuckle event. I got you, but look at cash out. And here comes Asia. Maybe it makes it to here, maybe it doesn't. This will be your target in the end. You got to be the guy that's going to handle that, the tail end of that. And of course, you got stopped out of this. This is why this big void is going to take a lot of, the market's going to cut through this void. It's going to be very dramatic. Once it takes this out and takes this out. Now the premium sells are up here. And so you did make it back to this top. You did not make it back to that top. That's why you got to take that. And of course, every day's a different drama. It's another IQ test. We sell. These are big sells up here. This is the wedge. I think I talked about that in the other videos, but that's a check because this is so deep, right? And this is where it's fun because I'm selling above the previous high here, and I'm like, yeah, let's take that up. Let's sell that. Boom, 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 boom. Sell, 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 sell. Into the U.S. I'm selling that whole thing. Now that's tough. This is a tough trade. That's a swing trade. And if I'm short from here, I'm like, I am almost down 50 pips. Where the money's made is, you see this top tick Tommy. If you put in two standard lots here, one standard lot, 50K, 30K, 20K, right? When it fills this, you could scalp to this, or you're looking for it to come back here now. This is such a big deal, this high. And I got more sells up here. I'm going to sell again. I know it's inconceivable, but you really got to, if you're going to reversal trade this, you really got to sell into that. So it's obvious to me the trade plan. I'm selling again. I'm selling again. So my 50 pip stops are getting stopped out. If I didn't take anything off the table on these, is where the bad ratios come in. So people talk about this all the time. What do you do about this? What do you do about when the market does this? Well, hopefully you've got a 100 pip stop on this, right? And hopefully you did really load up. I can't see any further back than this. Actually, this is further than we've made it in the chart. So yeah, selling this. So the strategy, you sold here, you had to capture that. If you sold that, there's no capture. But you've really got to be prepared to sell like you can't believe up here. And again, up here. So it does take a lot of dedication to sell into this. I don't know if I'm looking back to a 3-year high, but it wouldn't matter for me. So here's only, you only made 25 pips on that, but don't forget that's a bigger position up here. Selling again. But I would, that's how I do it. I'm never a buyer during this phase. It's tough. It really is, because I'm like, no, I'm selling it. Fuck them, I'm selling it. Now I'm cashing out, right? Now I know there's buyers here. So if I'm not short, I would be buying here. Buy, buy, buy. These are all the buy windows coming back down in. So that's my, since I'm super short up here, don't forget. I mean, I've been selling and going against the crowd here, and so I really have to wait to get paid the next day there. Now, maybe I'm still short a big chunk, and maybe I'm still holding onto this with a 100 pip stop short here, and it's very possible. If you put a 100 pip stop in, you would be underwater in that. I don't really run with a 50 pip stop, so I got crushed out. Now I'm making back what I lost. Now we're presupposing that when you sold your $1 million position here, that you did hold for this. I said, here's the buy window. So you see how hard that is? When you see that market coming up, you're like, oh, fuck, am I selling into this? Yes, I am. But I'm also going to put this on a swing account, because I could obviously scalp all the shenanigans in here on a shorter time frame. But look at that climax. And what did it seem like at the time, though? Actually, I can see back further than I'm looking. Let's see. You see how much money it's making now? What do you think about trading with a 100 pip stop? $10 a ticket. So when people talk about risking, I'll reload the template. It's not going to let me do that. So talking about risking, if everybody could see this high on the chart, but we didn't know how far that was going to go. It went about 50 pips into this lonely giant mother fractal. I made money. How did I make money off of that? Is because when I sold into it, here's the first scalp back to the breakout point. Then every time it goes higher, it's inconceivable as this is going up. You're really like the loneliest seller in the world selling into that. But look at the dividends. It comes all the way back to this top. It does eventually come back to that. Unbelievably, right? And I said I would be a buyer here, here. I'm buying a lot here. I'm buying a ton here. And I'm buying all the way down, but I don't get filled on that. We cash out of that. And once again, you have to be willing to, just like up here, lay the track out in front. And if you did lay the track here of buy limits, man, you cashed out into the breakout point, and it starts to engulf, and you're really making the big money. Also, you could have sell limits up here again. I typically like to buy, so if I'm trading, if I see the setup like this in the yen, I'll do the same trade in the yen. Now the yen moves more than the euro, and it's quite a move, but it's cheaper to buy, right? It's just a cheaper price. But I actually, right, so it's a little different math because of the decimal point on that, but it's close to X amount of dollars per pip. But I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about, like, am I doing what I should be doing? And I got to sleep. So if I lay the pendings in, I can go to sleep. And if I sleep during the session here that's blue, would be the sleep session. It looks like, so we zoom. This is my favorite kind of amount of zoom in, just because I can see most of the whole story. If we get a double bottom in time here on the line chart, and we kind of trap the breakout traders that put sell stops in here, hoping this trend was going to keep going, we've really made money going against them. Right, so all these, it's very interesting. Now the sellers that trade the breakout are making money. They like, I put a sell stop in, I put a buy stop here. I'm risking, 25 pips, 30 pips, but look at that. But you made your 25 pips. I hope you got out. I hope you got out. Because somebody was buying that. Probably me for at least this. Now I'm buying this. Now I'm going to buy here. So it's easy to plan out ahead. Sellers up here, buyers down here. Only because the most extreme tops and bottoms, we know that's very ripe for the pickings. Aggressive selling, super aggressive selling would be sell right here, which I would do in Asia. I like that trade. I'll babysit that. Come up in here. I'll scalp that. I'm already long from this. Took out the low of the previous day. Nice, tight, good ratios. Even though we got some bad ratios in there because we don't know if it's going to keep. We don't know. Now you may think you know, but you don't know. ICT likes to make that claim. He knows the future. I say I don't. But I know the past, and I know what lives on this chart is stuff like this obvious low, right? So we're buying below that. And if you sold these new highs, which we know we got filled, because we can see the bid, cannot see the ass there. We're long here. We got big giant orders down here. All right, this is the ripe, beautiful. Now, I know the breakout traders are selling that breakout, but I'm buying into this plunge. I like to put more orders down here and even more build back dumber down here. Okay? They're coming in, they're dipping into that bank. And we got predefined exits built into these scripts of anywhere from 5 to 40 pips. But typically, most of this is going to be risk 16 to make 8 pips. This is going to be the kind of trades in here. So we're loaded up. we bought that whole plunge out of Asia, and this would be our exit point actually, and the big target's going to be if we make it above that. So these things are setting up all the time. And what is the setup? Well, the setup is that this low itching to be smashed. This low has been smashed. So everything we buy below here, when we make it back to here, we got to get out because this was the reason we got in. And now we're out of that ticket without any profits, but a break even, so to speak, right? But if we had the money we needed to buy 1K, a 2K, a 3 martingale into that plunge, that's why martingale works, right? And we're still holding, looking to take out Asia's high. In this session, we're looking for it to do this. It doesn't necessarily have to do that, and it's no guru to call that because I'm going to buy Asia's plunge here. If I cashed out to here, I come in here. I'm looking just to get in the market in the next 8 hours. So I put tickets the last 8 hours here, and we come in, I fill it, and if we take this out, I'm going to buy more. So I know I'm buying this whole plunge here automatically. It's an automatic trade. Okay. And this is some dramatic low here. This could be the abyss of abyss, but I'll buy into that too. I like the thrill of that, honestly. Buying into that, like, wow. Oof. So Asian breakout. The Asian breakout guys get it right? There, you know. I should call it London breakout maybe, but this is why people sell the London breakout. It's breaking out, right, in London, breaking out of Asia, I guess. Look at that. We're buying into that plunge. Now, that's a hell of a day. And there's probably a little follow through, but not necessarily. These things don't always happen the way we think they're going to happen. But to be on the safe side, now I know on this chart that I am long as hell just because we took out yesterday's low. So regardless of any kind of RSI or volume, any of that bullshit, I am so long just because of this. Everything below here I'm long. And I got buy limits to buy more. But I've cashed out at least this 50 pip retracement. This is 40 pip retracement. I know I'm out with my 40 pip targets on that. Now I'm going to come in and aggressively buy Asia breakout, fake breakout, and I'm going to buy limits here. And maybe I'm long on half of my position. It really depends. How much money's in the account, how much I want to do that day. Do I have another trade? Do I have a pending limit crush entry like for the same style of trading? So if you're long below this, this would be your break-even exit point. But I cashed out of something, so when I buy the new low here, I got to cash out here because it's a trap. Now I'm getting filled on those limits because we just took out the low of the previous day. So this is just the constant hunting of stops or triggering fake breakouts for people. And that kind of, I'm smarter than the retail trader ICT approach to life. Like, I'm so fucking clever. Dude, if you were that clever, you'd figure out that you should just trade your account, right? If that's how you're making money. But I get it. He wants to be, look, he wants to teach. He's a teacher, apparently, because I think he said something about when he goes back to school. That's why you're probably not going to see him now. Because I think he teaches. He likes to teach. Like, apparently, I like to bitch. He likes to teach. Cute, though. He's cute. So I'm long because we took out the lower here. And we took out this. Now, this is my favorite kind of entry, is that I'll bet they'll take that out. And sure enough, they do. And it's really, I guess I'm a real contrarian. I'm like, we're buying down here, man. We are buying. Now I'm already out because they just trapped these guys. But now I'm like, uh-oh. No, this has been going down, and all the goobers are on the short train, and it's time to go rip it the other way, right? We did take, we're coming up on this new abyss down here. This is very dangerous now. I guess dangerous if you've ever seen these things break out and keep collapsing into new lows. You're like, man, I guess that thing really is breaking down. Well, all these things are going to come to mind. So if we take this out, holy shit, Katie barred the door, right? Because this is like, that's a low from months ago. I'm saying I don't care. I'll buy that too. So I'm not caring. Okay, now I'm holding, maybe I'm holding a giant trade that I loaded the wagon. Let's not forget there are people with 100 pip stops that are swing traders that are still in this trade. And where did they get in? They got in below here. They scalped to that floor once. Then they bought new lows. Now they're like, oh yeah, we'll sell here. So I'm always thinking, okay, I'm short here. Let's scalp that. Let's scalp that. And probably did. Now maybe even goes higher. But I'm willing to put sell limits in. It's the willingness. I'm willing to put sell limits here and actually martingale into that. But you see how torturous the market is to people. Just when the goobers got their beautiful moving average cloud system to tell them that we're in a downtrend on the hourly and everything was going so well, Mr. Retracement came along and ripped their fucking face off, and now they're double jabbed, and they have an anal sensor that shocks them when they don't take their morning Moderna pills. It's absolutely the most utopian socialist idea that's ever been invented. So that's kind of the market, you know. The market is dystopian. It's supposed to be utopian, but something went. Look at that sell. Oh my God, the sell's up. Did you see the reaction off that? Now, I called that out ahead of time. More better. I build back better than even ICT could imagine. That's right. If you understand what's going on. Look at the brutality here. So look at the hell to pay in the most vicious market maker unloading and destruction of every algo. Look at that move. Are you kidding me, dude? This is what fries people's brains. Look, they hit my buy window finally. Now get a load of that shit. Now, it's funny. I didn't pick this spot, but this is what people talk about. What do you do about that trade? You run about 150 pip stop. Now, look at that monster fill down here. We knew this fucker was down here lurking. This was the abyss that everybody said, oh, if it takes that low out. The same thing happened in Bitcoin at $30,000. They kept on. Now, people are like, holy shit. And it did not happen. It's not to say we can't come back and hit that puppy, but look at that. Is almost 100 pip reaction off of that. And Bitcoin could do the same thing. And Bitcoin ricocheted off like 50 grand, came for, and then we're going to have Bitcoin over in New Zealand or something. Not New Zealand. Now, you would have thought Venezuela was going to, now all these countries that are in chaos, and the beauty of Bitcoin, I'm not looking at Bitcoin as an investment. No, it's just a transfer agent. So if it was stuck at $30,000, let me ask you this. All the Bitcoin enthusiasts, if Bitcoin traded in a $5,000 range between $40,000 and $50,000, which is totally possible because if it's adopted as a fucking currency, the volatility is going to go by. Look at this retracement. Look at the reaction off that fucking low. Oof. Is it an auction market? Yes. Look at how vicious. So why would you buy that plunge? Because look at that. Now, you got to be ready for who's got a trade plan that can go from 20 pips to 150 pips. So, you know, if you start to see, you're like, and ICT put out this warning, is so cute. Yeah, markets are going to get on his community. Oh, you got to see this shit. Markets can get very volatile. You think, Sherlock? I mean, and look at this. Oh, this is November. Okay, so where's that dead summer trading? Wow. It's just, this is amazing. This is the most amazing discrepancy in price versus what's really happening in people's minds and the news and the lockdowns and this complete. I was at my neighbor's house yesterday. He wanted me to help him carry something in. And I asked him why he's not dead yet. He said he hasn't even got, I don't think he's even got COVID. I'm sorry, whatever they call that thing. You know, the virus, the scourge. Trump called it the plague to kind of put the liberal emotional spin on it. You know, if you really look at this whole picture now, they should zoom back and nobody died of the flu last year. The math is so hysterical. The narrative is so ridiculous. It is so fucking... Look at this thing. Look at that thing cut. Look at that puppy cut north. Now I'm selling into that. All over again. That blue session is the European session. Coming into U.S. actually. So that is... this is 8-hour trade blocks, which means this is going to be... okay, now we're coming into... Is it 1 o'clock in the morning there? Oh, I'm sorry. 5 o'clock in the morning. So now we got till... No, that's not. It's 10-hour trade blocks. You could do that too. You can make this trade block anything you want. What really is the truth of the market is that there are so many sellers up here and there are so many buyers down here that if you trade bookends, the total engulfment, but you don't have to. Now the market's probably going to calm down a little bit. I'm going to buy this. And I'll resell that top. I don't think it's going to, like, so the mistakes people make is that it's going to go from here down to there. You don't know that. It may still have some buyers left in it. And so if it is coming down here, wouldn't you just buy down into that? So I would buy it into that. I'll buy into this. This is a 50 pip window. I'll buy below that fractal. And so things kind of calm down here. But that was pretty ruckus, you must admit. Now, if in the big picture of everything that we know here, and I can delete those things. Okay, here's the big picture. It's really hard for me to see a trend in there, but if you can, that's the 100 pip grid on the big blacks and the 25 on the skinnies. Why would you even think about trend trading this? And this is when I came to the conclusion I'd rather fade the fractals and trade reversals on fractals, Williams fractals on this chart just alone. Now granted, this move here is so brutal that this has to be the biggest order imbalance when you come down into here and you're like, that is nuts. Here's another beautiful sell here, and now it's like, well, what do you do? Well, this is tough because if you put buy limits in here, you're like, I thought they'd just pull back a little bit. No. Because this was such an old low, old high, the reaction, this is the secret or the trick, I guess. You filled this. Okay, when you tag that, this was the exit for that, right? You sold that, you cash out, back to this, but then this move is so profound, and it does go back 5 days. When it comes to here, there is this moment of, oh, I don't think it's going to do this. Now, I talked to this guy, his name is Bayo or something. So we were on this Skype call or something, and he says, yeah, I did that trade where I was selling. I'm buying here. Well, either whether it comes back to the top, become bottom, or you're going to buy this plunge. When we get to this pivot point here, and it doesn't go like this. Now, a lot of people would think, well, it's just going to do this again, and we're going to range trade it. Well, when it collapses into here, it's kind of blows people's minds. They're like, why so vicious? Well, I think that the reason is for that is the filling of this price. The reaction is that when we come to here, it's like, the reason why it won't come to here is, and I guess the speed of this move is enough follow through that, don't forget that's Asia, come down, unfinished business, so to speak, but I think it's the length of that. Now, I suppose you could make some formula of like, well, how many pips over how many, and when you get into the geometry of this. You can make so many claims here. You can say, well, what's really happening there, let me explain it to you. I know you're just too stupid to get it, is that you have a trend line break, retest, you want to get into the retest of the trend line. So all these things seem like, well, yeah, okay, that's what's going on then. And then you would make the assumption off of that is that, well, the big boys know about this trend line, and what they're doing is waiting till it breaks, comes back, and they're going to buy here, see? Or the big boys are tricking you into think it's going down, but it's really going up. Or you just have those, look at the reaction off of this. Wow, that's going to be vicious. Now I come with the buy limits. Now I think it is going to be a brutal sell-off. And I'm expecting, why am I expecting it? Because we just filled that. And I'm like, oh, dude, they're going to crush that puppy. So you have to see the broad view of why is it crushing. I say it's crushing because this low, or this high is so old, it's going to play off of that like a fucking mandate. And it's going to crush so hard that if you are going to buy into this, look out, right? Look out. Now, this is the low of the previous day. I'm still a buyer down here, and I think we're going to come down here maybe. This is one of those, oh, it's going to, yeah, there'll be a bounce. Maybe to here. But if they take out this, wow. This could be a mind blower here. Now, here comes Asia. I hope we retrace to here, certainly. Because I did buy this. I know what I would have done here. I'm looking at cash out. Doesn't have to happen. And it could actually go rocketing north in a mind-blowing move back up into here. But I got sell limits up here too. So it's always kind of rotating my inventory. But that's what I'm doing. No secret. Just a lot of work, you know, putting these tickets in, rotating the, you know, pull these off the table, come back in with the other guys. Yeah, that's kind of it, you know. Like here I'm long. That day's trading. Now we're looking to cash out. But like I said, I have the buy limits down here to buy more. I was thinking about the next trade because I'm always want to think ahead. Now I'm buying that zone. And we did not make it to our target necessarily, so I'm not going to count on it making right to here. It almost did. But I like this trade. I got buy limits sitting below the previous day's low. It's just an easy scalp for me here. And then maybe it does engulf. And I got buy limits here galore. It's a relaxing style of trading for me. I don't have to run moving averages. I don't have to do all those things. It's not for everybody, and it's not for anybody. But, hey, that's it. So, yeah, an hour and a half of punishment for me, but I'd be long on that, cashing out. It's the yin, it's the yang, it's the torture that the market just whipsaws people. Gets them all excited about a move. And I'm not a trend trader. I'm a range trader because the trend trading to me is just complete and utter betrayal. There is no trend. The trend's not your friend. Never has been, never would be. Neither is Joe Biden. Neither is ICT. So there you go. Maybe I'll come back and read the meanderings of with the proper background music, of course, because you know you have to bestow a lot of majesticity on top of ICT when he speaks. I mean, literally, it's like E.F. Hutton, man. E.F. Hutton. He's ICT Hutton. But yeah, he's your, that is the iconic mentor. I'll show you what's going on here thing. But I think you do great to figure out and you know, a lot of people are trading that. It's not, like I said, it's not like it doesn't work. It's that there's simpler ways to make money than So if you're just going to risk dollars, that's what you're really doing. I'm doing. If you want to be right about the direction of the market, that's a whole nother thing. If you want to say, oh, I told you it's going down, look, it's going down. That's a completely different world, you know. And being right about the direction doesn't mean you made money because you maybe didn't take that trade. And this is the idea that you take every trade that your algorithm, your robot spits out. You take every trade. You don't cherry pick it because the time that you don't take it is the time the robot's right. So we know that one. And there's the second guessing yourself, but I've diffused the. So when I started out and went to these classes when we used to trade giant positions in commodities, I went and studied really hard, spent a lot of money, and they would say stuff like, "Well, you know, you're going to pull the trigger on this trade." I'm like, "Oh yeah, God, I'm really nervous about it." I'm not nervous about pulling the trigger anymore because I'm pulling so many baby triggers a day, tiny triggers. Don't really feel it. This is bed of nails theory. You know, you're not laying on one nail. Bed of nails gives you enough distribution that you can survive it. And so all I'm doing is surviving it through granularity of many positions. So that's my edge, so to speak. But that's what I had to come to because the other option was agony. Should have. They stopped me out. I was risking 2%, around 2% stop. I put an 82K on because that was 2% of my account. And this trade, man, this algorithm has been working so good for so long. And I'm finally going to pull the trigger on this, man. I've back tested it. I've even watched it trade real time again. And then the time you take, inevitably, at some point, when you pull the trigger, it's going to be a wrong trade. And what are you going to do? Go back to the drawing board. Well, no, you're not building a car for a racetrack with a 30-degree bank. Now, if you did that, imagine you built your car to run really good on 30-degree banks, and you weighted out the car and you got the right amount of fucking suspension set up just for these turns. Well, the market, you just curve fitted yourself. Sure, it runs on that track, but the market here is just kind of like just chaotically cutting into uncharted water sometimes. But there is definitely the exhaustion point at the end of the day. So we know that at the end of the day, we can get ourselves in, like here, this would be an obvious, I'm put at sell limits, even though this is a big window, this is kind of a risky window of 30 pips, 40 pips here. I put sell limits above the previous day high. Now I'm short in a big grid and I'm cashed out. I'm like, I'm good. We just made it back to the breakout point. And that trade's over. Now I come back and with sell limits all over again. So that's what I'm doing. Because that to me is relaxing. I want trading to be, now Bill Williams said this, that the market should be a partner with you. You should agree the market's your friend. Not the trend, but the market should be your friend. And I make the market my friend so when we come into sunny night, even though I'm long the euro to the weekend here, which is fucking breaking down. Let me just show you the trade I'm in here. Let this thing cook along. So, but, I'm like, I don't have a choice. I really don't have a choice. My system demands it. So I bought into this close, and I understand looking at another broker. Well, this is, okay, this could go to the round handle here. Now, why am I long? Because I'm trading a 4-hour basis, and I just bought the plunge. Now, I did cash out. I did buy here, and I cashed out when it got above here. You could have gone short here, and I went slightly short there. But look at this is a 4-hour chart, which means this is pulling back 12 hours down, and that's the pullback. Now you could have been short, and I'm not, because I'm not trading 100 pip stop, but you could have been short from this Williams fractal here, this recent drama, short, and we expect a giant pullback off of that. Why? Because that low or that high goes deep back in the market. The deeper the structure, the bigger the retracement action. So this is just observational situation that these deep prices cause severe overshoots and pendulum swing reactions that are brutal. So when you come down, you take out, this is the 4-hour chart, by the way, so now we're looking at, we take out this low, oh man, what a reaction. Not only do we come back to here, we engulf, cut all the way, don't make it to here. This is a profound move. When we take out this low, look at this retracement. See, this is what I'm mining. I'm putting buy limits in here for this move, for this move. Trading's easy. When I look at it, range trading's easy. Trend trading is impossible. Sure, you got a moving average on this? I can only imagine. It's a downtrend, sell here. Oh, wonderful. Dude, I bought and sold. I sold these fractals and I bought these fractals. So this whole week I made money. I made money. I traded it. Maybe I didn't make money, but I traded it. I have a trade plan for that. You buy these, you sell these, you buy, that's the reversal. And sure, if you're going to hold that for a week back to here, nice trading. It's 100 pips. This is a 10 pip grid on top of a 100 pip grid, so it's 100 pips. Big unfair value down there. Ripping back up. Sellers galore above that. If you could endure that, you would have made 100 pips. If you're trading with a spread here is 1 pip. Plus, I think a half. This is a pip and a half. This is the trade. Right. Looking back at this, I can see my trades. I got sell limits above that fractal. Maybe no fill. Definitely filled here. Cashed out on something. 10, 20 pips. Now I could sell here, which I did. Made money. Sold here. Not a lot. Sold above here. Definitely sold here. Definitely sold here. And definitely got filled. Cashed out. Bought it back. So buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. That's what I like. I like this buy, sell shit. I like to buy. So treating the 4-hour chart like this. I'm literally trading that. On limits only. Exiting on predefined good and bad ratios. And at the market if need be. Because if I overload. So here, when I buy this plunge, I'm like, holy shit. Now we got to cash out to here. Even though it went to here, I'm okay. I'll go flat and put buy limits in because I know the nature of the market is that I know it's going to go up and down. So what we do know, what I know, it goes up and down. Now maybe you don't know that. Maybe you don't know the market's ranging. But how can you deny this shit, dude? Do you see any fluid deaths in there that weren't fucking, right? The bullshit version, the redefined version. Getting stopped out is just like blowing up an account. Dying of pneumonia is like dying of the flu. Dying of a car crash. Dying because you're so fat. Dying because you did heroin. Dying because you don't have a job. Dying because you atrophied. Dying because some do-gooder bureaucrat locked you down. The road to hell is paved with good intention. The road to losing money in the market is trend trading, in my opinion. Now, that's my opinion. You can tell me your trend trades are killing it, but you're still going to have to enter in a range moment. You're not going to have to. But it's best advised that you enter on limits because if you think you've picked the low to buy at the market, I got to see this guy do this trade. Now, ICT did this trade with this thing where he's a 17-minute video where he's like, me against, like the banks against me. And, dude, he had a 10 pip stop on that. Why not 2? I thought you were fucking a genius. And he says in the video, this is a fake trade, by the way. And by the way, you could have put a real trade on. He's claiming that he's going to go to jail. Well, maybe he's like the guy from January 6th that's not allowed to watch how to log on with your election machine onto a thermostat router. You hear about that? I mean, I can't even get into what's going on. I'm sure if you have even a glimpse of a political news feed, your head's exploding because you're like, really? Okay. So then, actually, if you can accept that, you can accept range trading because you're always moving the goalposts here, see? The market's always moving the goalposts. It's like the Democrats are moving prices. And that's the big money. But the funny thing is that, well, it used to be in the 60s, we had this poster. About 1970, I think it was, there was these posters you could buy. I don't know if they still have that. It was in the back of Psychology magazine. I don't know. My parents, being libtards, bought Psychology Today, which is the original propaganda. And so in the back there, they had these posters, and you get this nice glow-in-the-dark. And it said, what if they gave a war and nobody came? Well, yeah, what if they gave a mandate and nobody complied? So that's what you're going to see next there. So I think that could kill inflation in a way, because once the fear bubble's gone, and lumber prices sold off as we knew they would, and copper is overrated, and nickel, all these things people jump onto, but this is the latest bandwagon, the latest. Let's see how oil's doing. Actually, I haven't looked at oil in a while. So oil's just meandering here. The problem with oil is, what, I crashed the chart here? I guess I crashed the platform anyways. Huh. It won't give me a new price update. Oh, you know what? I don't know what happened there. Oh, look at stuff. I don't know what happened to. Why is my oil chart dead? Interesting. I don't know. Anyways, it's dead. Stopped in August. I don't know. Maybe they took the symbol off this. Look at the NASDAQ. Now, this is the monthly NASDAQ. You want to go long here? So it's finally going to happen. I think fundamentally, NASDAQ goes up more. So if you're going to, the whisper approach. Let me see. Oh, I looked. So people over 100. Businesses over 100. Any NASDAQ business over 100 people working? Look at this overextension. Just to be a little big view here in closing. I will close this video. What can you say about this here? It's like a sell-off. Remember the 2008 crash? The end of the world. I seem to survive that. That's how I become a bottom. Not bad. Wait, August 14th. But wait a minute. Donald Trump comes about and he deregulates. Don't forget, for all the fucking shit these assholes are doing now, too late. Too late, Sleepy Joe. We deregulate. New businesses. The largest expansion in the economy, the most jobs created. We're still riding that wave. Here comes Joey shit your pants Biden. Uh-oh. We got a problem, kids. And I feel bad for all these ape army goobers that have, I'm buying and investing in America. Dude, it ain't going to matter. Because when people sell, they sell. And even the ape army's going to sell. And maybe the running stops. It's so cute. Watch Steve Bannon, War Room. And he has these ape army goobers come on there. And they're all gung-ho. And Yeah, I get it. That you're like learning about the market and stuff, and I don't know, maybe it's some great society beyond Scientology, but let's be realistic, people. When you hear about the ape army going long, it's like when Bitcoin was trading up in what nosebleed section here, and the Goober army came into Bitcoin here at 63,000. Now you know somebody bought there, and when it came down to here, they sold and they shit their pants at 30. And if we take out 30, we're doomed, you know. But what I think about it now is, if you look at gold, where's gold at? Here's the all these charts are dead. I don't know what's going on here. You know what? I don't know. They changed the symbols on this. They rewrote the platform. Anyways, they haven't updated in a while. So, but these are real here. This is Hugo's way. Maybe they don't do it. Maybe they're not doing it anymore. But if you're trying to make all these charts are dead, but we are about there in the chart. I don't know. The charts are dead. I don't know why. We shouldn't be offline. Maybe I hit the wrong. Anyways, you see what I'm saying. This is where the chart ended, but this whole platform is dead. I don't know why. What's the current price? We can't even change time frame, but let that go. So the point being, yeah, I mean, sure. Somebody emailed me once a while ago, and I said this before. Hey, I'm gonna pull some money out of this and go into that. What kind of gold trade do you think they're setting up there? This is so difficult because you've really got to figure out what kind of pain, what your threshold for pain is. So here's a good exercise. Like turn on the stove and pick a temperature and see how long you can put your hand on the stove. I mean, to me, that's what trading's almost about. So a lot of times instead, like when I first was trading forex, I'll put my index finger in my mouth and kind of bite on it because I was nervous about the trade. I didn't have any stops as I had 20 forex accounts, so I was really having fun. Before they outlawed it, before they went before the government found out people were making money, or losing. I'm trying to protect you, right? I bit into my index finger to the point where I had a callus, and one day I looked at my finger and I go, why do I have a callus on my finger? Do I have cancer on my finger? Oh no, because I'm so in a trance looking at the market, really. Fascinated by the movement and stuff, and adding on top of that, can I make money from all these zigzags? And can I make money from it's a very routine market. When stocks open at 9:30 in the market and 9:30 in the morning, so we have the news comes out at 8:30 typically, or 8:15, depends what kind of news it is. And you can trade that news if you know how to do that. If you know how to put limits in and cash out and be fast, because the prices don't last long, and you gotta be quick on the draw there. But I'd like to come in with limits. And if the market opens and I see it zooming, I'm like, okay, I could throw limits in front of it, and so I'm actually. The technique is what's making it doable, because I'm not going to sit there with a market order and get in at the market during news. Now, that would be a dangerous thing to do because the fills could suck, and you're at the mercy of your server connection. It's better for me to blanket the market with limits and go, you know what? Maybe it's going to take 5 minutes to drop. I'm not going to determine that. I'll let the market decide for me. Just like a stop entry person on confirmation saying, I'll let the market decide. So I have a confirmation entry, but it's a limit. Because I believe that is the holy grail, is limit entry. The market comes to me. I know the risk. I know I got diversification in entry prices. So I only have entry prices turned on my charts. The stops have no color. So that my stops don't, and my take profits don't cover up my entry lines, because I trade blanket of, when I'm looking at the market, I'm putting lines of entries in. And I don't want to duplicate those. And I also want to come back. So I'm planting a field of mines, so to speak. Or I guess I'm fishing for price. But I'm laying in traps, you know. I'm putting bear traps out to catch bears. I'm not hunting bears with a gun. So I understand the sniper metaphor, that you're going to be a sniper and you may be that guy, but I know I'm not that guy. I thought I could be that guy. I just said, I got better things to do. I got to watch a bad movie. So I just let them come into my fills, and I look at my Android and I go, look at there, filled me. It's crazy. Then I determine at that point, wow, what's this going to be like? And then it's an adventure. So pulling the trigger is not a issue anymore. All the fear of missing out, I got money in the account. I'm waiting for them to come in. If I really wanted to get aggressive, I might put a 1 hour order in like 5 pips away and go, come on, I'm basically daring the market to fill me. Come on, fill me on this ticket, and they play little games there. But it really comes down to, at 9:30 in the morning, things can turn on a dime and go the other way. Because when cash market opens, and now Europe's going to close, and Asia's closed, we're going to hand it off to the next bidder, the next offer, and we get the market is going to have to make a big move. The longer it goes sideways, the more dramatic the move. So low volatility forecasts big volatility, and big volatility forecasts low volatility because it's unsustainable. The giant deep price, new lows and new highs that go way back in time are really a big deal. Even when you're on the opening of the market. So if we open up and we pop up, see how the market went down into that insane 3-month low and reversed, like you just mind-blowing, like the most mind-blowing move, outdoes any trend, and maybe it's the beginning of the trend, right? Ground zero wave of Elliott starts there. But I mean, these are amazing, psychotic moves. There's no way around it. Maybe this stuff's just not updating because I'm running this, but we're looking at strategy tester there. So that's that. Anyways, so 2 hours of insanity, of nonsense. But yeah, I'm tired, and when the power went out, I just gave up. So obviously, Mother Nature's warning, and I don't want to get hit by lightning either, because that's as dangerous as going outside without 8 masks and a butt plug. I still see people at the store, and of course these businesses I go to, they're mandating the people to wear it that work there, and I'm just like, and now you're going to mandate more shit? I mean, how tight, how afraid are you of dying? You're afraid of living too, apparently. You want to be in a holding pattern and wait to die. I gotcha. Dude, I'm so glad I've been in lockdown my whole life. Like I said, since the age of 7 years old. Go to your room. Thank you very much. I will stay there. It is brutal out there. So stay home, stay safe I'm all about that. That is the premium situation. Okay. So anyways, have a nice day, as they say. That smiley face, is that still going? That's have a nice day shit. And don't forget that the trend is not your friend, not in the least. Neither are mandates.